Hello, welcome back to the Mr. Arsenal podcast. As I adjust the camera here. Bloody hell, here we go. We are back for another match day Watchalong, non-Arsenal related, sort of. Basically, Arsenal aren't playing, but it's title race related. So until it's mathematically impossible for us to win this, we're going to keep doing these Watchalongs with covering Man City games. Today, we're doing Fulham versus City at Craven Cottage. Liam will be joining me soon. I've just sent me the link as we're counting down to me being on screen, obviously. A couple of changes to the Man City team. No De Bruyne in the squad at all. Apparently he's ill, being in inverted commas. Nothing to do with playing West Ham midweek and wanting to rotate and rest players. A luxury that Man City can do when they buy 2.5 squads worth of players that all complement each other perfectly. Got Colin in the chat already. Got Colin, morning from the States. Good morning to you. Gary's in the chat as well. Morning, Ryan in the chat room. The Arsenal Misfits popped in as well. Morning, everyone. Hope you're all good. And then just now, Reggie's come in. Can't be doing that afternoon. Hope you're all keeping well. Being honest, I know early in the season, Fulham running close and were robbed. Just be honest, they were robbed of a point by the by their own goalkeeper. Well, by VAR initially, and then Leno just thought, I'm going to dive over the ball, and it's the worst thing in the world. Man City absolutely done them. 1-0 up, I think it was 3-2 in the end. 1-0 up, then went up to 1-1. You think Man City going to go on the counter? No, fought back to 2-1 at Fulham. Got back to 2-2, and at the last, literally the last kick of the game, as I say, that kick game just got underway. But last kick of the game, Man City got a penalty via VAR. It was arguably the worst penalty I've ever seen taken in general. And it's still winning because Bernardo, former Arsenal goalkeeper, decided to dive over the ball gradually. It was weird. It really annoyed me. But you've got to remember, as well with Fulham, they've got no Mitrovic. He's still serving out his match ban that he got given after the FA Cup quarter-final for the international break. So he's serving all that out. By the way, just mentioned, because I mentioned now because obviously Tom's popped in and just why I'm doing it reminded me. There are 3 other games kicking off now as we speak. I will be keeping an eye on them games as well along the way, and we'll keep you updated as they go. But in the meantime, let's get the scoreboard. Whilst we wait for Liam to pop in, I'll get the scoreboard sorted. 1 second. One mind, this is all technically this was Liam's idea last week whilst I did Man United. that what a ridiculous! That's a dive. I'm sorry, Alvarez dives there. You're right anyway. You're right.
Yeah.
That was it's not just me. That looked like a dive, didn't it? It weren't just me being biased.
I don't know. I don't think that gets overturned. Fucking bullshit.
Sake. No, it's not.
Oh, just like, mate, what? They're shit for them, aren't they? They are crap.
Yeah, the one I was just saying as well, I was praising them up because obviously early in the season they went to the Etihad and gave Fulham the fight of their life. Dodgy penalty was given. Shocker. As soon as I mentioned dodgy penalty, they get a dodgy penalty. Even Bobby agrees. Well, this is to equal most goals. If Haaland scores this, it equals the record.
Well, they can't even keep out for 2 minutes, mate.
No.
That's a good penalty. Yes, he goes the right way, mate. He saves that.
Yes, he actually dove the right way. He didn't dive over it this time, like he did last time.
I think Fulham are a bunch of bottom jobs as well, anyway. I don't expect nothing out of them.
Oh, dear. It's annoying. It's so annoying.
He actually dives right.
He actually dived for once. I mean, even
Sorry, mate.
probably not in the mood today. Oh dear, I don't know. Didn't get time to put the scoreboard up either. Bloody hell! First time we've seen it, it's 1-0 fucking City. Of course, it bloody is. Gary wants to join. We just send Gary a link as well. 1 second. Copy. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
They won them clubs, didn't they, Fulham? They won them clubs. Everyone likes going to.
Which just shows as well how reliant they are on Mitrovic as well. Without him, the whole gameplay goes out the window.
They can't defend either. I remember we played them.
That's what I'm saying.
They can't defend. I think it's before 5-0.
The thing is that the annoying thing is, Man City wouldn't be going top today if it weren't for the fact that our game got moved yesterday to Tuesday. It'll be delayed by a couple of days at least.
Just delaying the pain, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
I don't even know why I'm sitting here watching this. Do you know that?
I don't know. This was your idea last week.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm sitting here watching this. Do you know what I mean? It's just prolonging the pain, mate. That we've just absolutely thrown it away against teams like Southampton and West Ham.
I wouldn't go that far, Canterbury. I wouldn't go that far. This channel is slowly becoming the Mr. Man City podcast. Oh dear! I did say after the Chelsea maybe we'd cover every game in the title race between the two teams, but obviously did foresee that Arsenal would do what they've done recently. Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's all. That can't. It's be 2 in a few more minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Tom saying Erling Haaland equalled Andy Cole's record from '94, I believe. Yeah, Andy Cole and Shearer both joined, but yeah, he's one more goal to break it now in a single season.
He's a monster, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like, he's absolutely ridiculous. I don't think we're ever going to see a player like him again. I'm being totally honest.
Yeah. I did send you the link, by the way, if you're still watching.
This is the thing with Man City. You've literally got to be perfect the whole season to beat them.
Yeah, do an old firm watch on much better.
Oh, it's on a channel that I can't get.
I don't even know what channel it's on, to be honest.
Oh, it's on some sports channel.
What, Premier or something like that?
Yeah, something. Oh, something.
Yeah.
What's the score?
Well, Man City women are losing.
Oh?
Man City's women's team are losing at 100 Reading. 5 minutes in, though, but still. Does us a favour. Somewhat, anyway. That's 1. Right, here we go. Scottish Cup. 0-0. Rangers and Celtic, 34 minutes in.
Yeah.
And the other Premier League games are still 0-0. Tom's saying none of the goals from Andy Cole were penalties, apparently. I can't remember that far back, to be honest.
I don't ever really remember Cole taking penalties, to be fair.
No, it wasn't his thing. It was Dwight York or Teddy or it was always someone else taking them.
Yeah.
So when you look at it like that, Andy Cole's a more all-round player, really, because he didn't have to rely on penalties all the time. That's all in that case. His outfield players too second to none, clearly. Again, one of our products that we let go, because obviously had Cav Cam, Ian Wright and Smith ahead of him.
Old Leeds had denied a penalty after a VAR review.
That one. Tom
that player's out for the rest of the season, isn't he? One of their players.
I don't know who it is now, but yeah, I've heard about something's gone off, yeah.
That Seni Cerrito or something.
Oh, Seni, I can't pronounce his name, but yeah, I know you're on about. Oh, here we go. Oh, what a save. I think it was offside anyway, but good to save.
But it's going to be busy today, mate.
Yeah, just a tad. Oh, dear. It was a 42-game season. I mean, that was the season before Premier League came along itself.
Right.
But either way, it's still a good record, a good goal scoring record for anyone. Henri came close in 03-04. He's like 3 or 4 short of that record itself. I think he's like 30, 31 league goals, something like that.
Extremeness.
Fucking 14 goal difference now. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
Tyler Adams and Louis out for the rest of the season. Yeah, that's it. Can't pronounce it. Sinatra. I'll say Sinatra, but yeah. You know. But I was saying yesterday in the stream I did yesterday that with Brentford eventually winning that game yesterday against Forest, Tom can sit there and celebrate and be like relieved that the team got above him or whatever, putting more pressure on Leeds. But at the same time, they need to win today because otherwise, not Forest's defeat doesn't really have any effect in a positive sense on Leeds. And they went out of games as well to get over the line now.
Mm.
Yeah. One sec.
What's up? Bobby. Come on. Bobby. Oh, shit. Tackle. No, leave that alone. Bobby. Stop touching things. Tackle. Yeah, nothing's going on here, mate. What's up? Watch football. watch football. One. Oh, Ireland. Grealish. Oh,
well done there. God for that.
well, it's literally them versus Leno at the moment, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Literally.
Oh, I'm not. This Fulham team ain't got any chance. Go on. Okay. Go on. Go on. Yes! Yes!
Yes, Vinicius Junior. Beauty.
Get in there! Woo!
I'm going to celebrate that. Come on.
Yes!
Please, Fulham, please.
1-1, mate. That was a great finish. Great goal. Well, that 91% possession, Mr. Tom. Ooh.
Do not screw us about. 91% possession of this one. Yay. But yet we couldn't do this. We couldn't do this on bloody fucking Wednesday.
Mate, that was a great goal. Look at that chest day, mate. Quality finish. This was bang.
The hit.
Woo!
The readjustment, the quick readjustment of his body as well, knowing the ball's going the opposite way of him. Come on, please.
1-0. All Man City. Oh. And the old Celtic boys are winning as well.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, old Jota.
Celtic win a game? Never. That's a rarity. Celtic beating Rangers.
No, don't touch the buttons because I know what you're doing. So after all that Man City ball, it's 1-1. See how well Phil can hold out now. Oh, unlucky. Oh, he got sucked in there. What's up, mate? Come on, Leno, that's yours. Good man.
Come on, Leno. Please don't. Stop throwing that fucking table on the screen. It's pissing me off. They're going to do it every game now. You do know that.
Fun.
Sky and BT, every time there's a twist in the title base, like one league follows the other briefly, they're going to show that bloody table. As it stands, Arsenal first. No, Man City first. Arsenal first.
Mate, oh my God.
What a tackle.
Mate, who's referee? It doesn't matter who's referee nowadays. They're all as useless as each other, aren't they?
Yeah.
1-1 trigger. You need to get you up. You need to update your scoreboard, right?
Yeah, I know. One second. I'm literally running over the place having dinner. So I'm literally over. Yes, Georgina is 1-1. Yeah, Georgina's from over your side of things as well. Joined in. Yeah, one sec. I'm literally running all over the fucking gaff, so I'm dinner up. Oh dear, he forgot about it. There we go. Well, we can celebrate. Yeah, so we haven't had much to celebrate this week. Have we?
No, but episode 0 to celebrate.
Fucking the academy game, what happened then, and the day after. At least the girls did something for us, though. 2-2, and obviously set out. Now it's a set out now, by the way.
What time is that tomorrow?
5:45 kickoff.
Where can I watch it? Dazan again.
Dazan YouTube. Yeah, I'll send you a link. When they put the link up on YouTube tomorrow, I'll send it to you.
Nice. Keep trying to get up, don't he?
Give me some kind of sauce or something. Just give some distraction.
Damn. Ain't ya?
No, I didn't renew it. I can do it now. Pull it up and do it.
Yeah, exactly. Georgina, you going to the game yourself? Georgina.
Is she going tomorrow?
I'm asking because she's mentioned obviously it's a set out tomorrow for the girls. It is as of
60,000. That's unbelievable, really, isn't it? If we didn't have Chelsea Tuesday, I would have gone tomorrow, but can't take this.
Oh no.
Well, no, it's a set out.
You can't buy a ticket now.
Now the whole stadium, Arsenal stadium. What? What do you mean? Fuck off your women's game. Coming from a woman as well. Wow. That's a big old wow. That is.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much for Bobby's little presents.
You're welcome. Hope you enjoyed them.
I've got a picture today of T1. He was with the pillar. I'll show you, Sarah.
Oh yes.
Question.
Yeah, no, that'd be in hell for her to get to, wouldn't it? Or get back from.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Last game of the season for the big stuff.
Yeah, but also the local team.
Who are we cheering for? Anyone but Man City.
Oh, Man City's playing.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, what is it?
Fulham.
I don't know.
Do you want to put that chicken?
I don't want anything.
No.
No, I'll be at the game myself.
No.
What time
Yeah.
is it running before?
I might.
10-6.
I might not run. I don't know if I'll run. 10-6.
Oh.
Oh, we're picking them up now. How are we going to get in the car?
I have 5-seater, Liam.
Who's going in the car?
Us.
Oh, yeah.
Tim, Gary will be happy. He's American.
Where is Gary?
He has to come on. I sent him the link. And he hasn't come on. Might be busy or something, I don't know. But he got the link anyway, so.
Oh. I'm still pissed off about our performance last week.
Oh, here we go. Update. Bournemouth 1, Leeds 0. Lerma scored.
Oh.
Quickly bum top.
That is a relegation. Bournemouth getting out of it, isn't they?
Well, they win today. They win today with about 4 games left after today. They'll be all but safe, basically, with 1 win left.
Fair play to Bournemouth, mate. He's done a good job there, mate.
Yeah, if they win today with 4 games off as it stands, they're 10 points away from Leicester, who are in 18th.
I can't call which 3 are going to go down. Well, we know Southampton are going down, but the other 3,
it's all over the place.
Go on.
Yeah.
Mate, what are you doing? How did you not read that? How did he not read that, mate? Fuck, what an idiot.
But what is it? I was just saying about Georgina as well. Her local team, Plymouth, got promoted yesterday as well from League One to Championship. So congratulations there. Long with it, Rich. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I'll tell you what was a joke. I'll tell you what is a joke. Giving a second place team a trophy and then celebrating it.
Oh, I don't. No, that's my head in.
You know why they've done that? Because of the playoffs, isn't it? Because they get a trophy.
But no, it should be literally, you've come first, there's your trophy. You come second, you've missed out.
I don't even think there should be a playoff trophy, really. I just think it should be like, well done, you're up.
Do they really need a trophy to celebrate they've been promoted by the playoffs? Just literally have the playoffs itself.
Yeah, they should have playoffs. That's it, mate. There ain't no trophy to be.
2-0 Bournemouth. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Tom hates football now.
They're in the mire, aren't they, Leeds?
They are screwing themselves. Because again, as I said yesterday, with Forest then eventually losing. I mean, they put quite a fair play to Forest, but with them losing because of their goalkeeper doing what he did, Lerma on the hat trick. Bloody hell!
Oh boy.
Leeds had to win today. If Leeds had won, they would have leapfrogged and put Forest right in the mire, basically, and given themselves.
Mate, it's This number 6 is doing my head in, mate. Mate, he's shocking.
Keeps running away from.
He is shocking. Who
Weird,
is it?
yeah.
Is it that Reed?
No, he's gone off. Ream's gone off. Tim Ream's gone off, and
Reed.
he said, "Yops, come on." I'm just looking now. Who's number 6?
Harrison Reed?
Yeah.
I don't think so. What's that? I'll have a look. Yeah, Harrison Reed. Sorry, yeah, Harrison Reed. United still 0-0, by the way. Newcastle still 0-0 against Southampton.
Oh, mate, that's my nuts. What are you doing, fucking cat?
But yeah, the bottom 3 as it stands. I mean, did everything play today, have they? Or Leicester? But yeah, Southampton at bottom, 25 points. Everton 28 points at 19th. 18th is Leicester on 29 points. Then you've got Forest and Leeds a point above them, above Leicester. But literally, Forest have the worst goal difference out of the 5 I just mentioned. I mean, imagine. I know it's only till the end of the season of Navas, but imagine spending all that money to bring in a goalkeeper with that experience, and he's costing you points left, right, and centre. He's meant to be saving you the points.
Mate, he tripped over his own foot, didn't he?
He slipped from the surface. Yeah, he should be covered though. Ball in. Nothing to it.
Oh, mate, some of the football they're playing awful.
Them sort of balls in, that's when you have Mitrovic though. When you ain't got Mitrovic, don't put that ball in because it's not going to get the same outcome. Get off.
Get out, Ireland.
But yeah, I'm looking forward. I've been looking forward to the game tomorrow since we got through, obviously. And
they're running through them easy though, mate. How easy is that, mate?
Oh no.
Honestly, I think they're a bit disastrous at the back for them.
Well, it just shows where they've got to improve on in the summer. They've got what squad players have got. Well, players have got to bring in the summer base for their squad.
Leeds, mate, they're in trouble. They're in the mire, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they got. I think the weird thing was they got out of it last year. They're thinking they've learnt their lesson. They'll kick on and at mid-table this year. Maybe they're lucky. But it's been even worse. I mean, half the season they had Jesse March still in charge and all that.
Mate, they're going to go 2 now. They're going to go 2 now.
What a save onto the crossbar.
Mate, they're awful for them, mate. Honestly, they're absolutely awful at the back.
If Leno wasn't in goal, this would be done and dusted already by the looks of it.
Mate, they are absolute. Mate, they're not even switched on, mate. Look.
One that's meant to be marking, number 2, completely restored. Runs towards Haaland and leaves Jack completely open.
Mate, that's an unbelievable save by Leno. That's an unbelievable.
Oh.
Mate, honestly, it's awful for them watching them defensively.
Yeah, I just got some of my brother's dinner at one sec. Back in a sec. Brendan, your dinner's ready.
They can't even hold the ball up. Need Fulham to get another one here.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Oh, my leg. Ow. Go on, Fulham. Come on. Over it.
Oh.
Let's have a look. Has Stefan been in yet, by the way, while I've been gone? Does he still? He must be still nursing a hangover from yesterday then, because Ipswich got promoted as well, so he'll be happy. they obviously ex-Arsenal as well. Harry Clark, one of our academy players, went back to Ipswich back in January, and yeah, obviously he was absolutely because he's basically a local lad to Ipswich as well. Came from their academy, came to us, did his loan spells where he did, and then went to them on loan initially. Now he's there permanently, and obviously they've been promoted from League One, and he was absolutely in bits yesterday.
He done a lot of loan spells, didn't he? He went to Scotland and everything, didn't he?
Yeah, Ross County, and something, and I think it might be Inverness, but it was like 4 loan spells, and then initially went on loan to Ipswich at the start of the season, and then in January made the move permanent. Basically, wanted to stay put, which is fair enough. He's a local lad as well, so fair enough. And
fair play to him. Doing well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Where's that other guy gone? The Northern Ireland guy. He went somewhere, didn't he?
Well, McGuinness.
Yeah. He's
at Cardiff City now.
Yeah, Cardiff. He'll end up down in the Championship, won't he, full time?
All right. Sorry about that. No, yeah, McGuinness, he went to Cardiff not this summer gone, but the summer before.
I think what's so good at Man City's pressing is unbelievable, isn't it, really?
Yeah, but they've had how many years under Pep to master that as well, so...
Press is unbelievable, mate.
I mean, look how long it took Jack Grealish to adapt to that pressing style.
Yeah.
A year and a half?
Hopefully they get found for loads of their charges, eh?
Well, you can't have 100-odd charges put against you. Basically doping, financial doping, and get away with every single one. That's unheard of. Talking about unheard of, here's our American friend.
Oh, look who it is!
What do you mean?
Look who it is!
What do you mean you're an American friend? What the world is going on? What's up with this?
Oh, you're an American, aren't you?
Look at this. Yesterday you're
American boy.
Yesterday you're out there stealing my friends. Now you're calling me an American
I
friend.
still know one. He came to me.
I don't even get like names or anything. Just that guy from across the pond. I didn't even get that. That sounds better than my American friend.
Oh, stop. Either way, I wouldn't be nasty. But at least Mr. Tom will be happy somewhat. Leeds have got one back. It's 2-1. Patrick Bamford with the goal.
You know what? Okay, I saw that score and I was like, wow, they were down too? Wow.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody in the chat. Liam, Ryan, thanks for having me on.
No worries. That's all we can do.
Well, it's good once I put the game on my phone and then Fulham scored. So there you go.
That one's it. Oh! They're playing too deep for them for me. And we played, and I come from an Arsenal fan and played deep.
Oh, mate!
Yeah.
Then was going the Gary game.
Hello, everyone. Nightman, Nemeth, and Riddy, welcome. Thanks for
Chris Nick's in the chat as well. Hope these people well. It says, Mr. Tom, Tom Leeds have to win this. I've seen them in many fixtures. They don't look good. No, they don't.
Where is on Mr. Tom?
He was in the chat, but I think as soon as Bournemouth scored.
Yeah, he's probably screaming at the computer or the TV screen. So. I mean, it just seems like a matter of time because Fulham, just like us, are just getting taken apart, right? I mean, just no matter what they do, there's always an answer from City.
Yeah, it's just sucking it out of you watching it, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I saw a tweet from, I don't know if you guys know Rohan.
Yeah.
I think it is. Basically, he actually said it, which I think it's a little. I'm like, okay. He said protect and holding.
Oh, mate, what are you doing?
Uh-oh.
Mate. Oh, yeah, fuck you now.
What?
Oh, basically, go the ball away in midfield and almost.
Mate, they're just so. I don't know. They're such. I know. Fulham, like they're a really good team, Man City, but Fulham are making it easy at times, isn't they?
What do you think we did?
Yeah.
We did exactly that. We made it look easy.
I'm not arguing. I've not even spoke about it. Still not even spoke about it yet.
Well, okay, I'm going to speak about it because I guess I do things backwards over here. We do things on the opposite way. We just talk about things. We talk it out. So let it set in and fester and grow and then explode, which is crazy because you let it explode. If a man can explode, it's you. And you're holding it in. Why are you holding it in? Just let it out. The world wants to hear what you got to say. They do.
Are you sure the world wants to hear what I've got to say at the moment? Are you sure?
Well, let me say that he did his analysis, and basically he said Arteta was protecting holding, which for me means that we're not playing our style of play anyways. If we're protecting a player, then we're not playing our style. So with that in mind, a back three makes more sense.
Well, not if he was in my group, in a group that I was in. It ain't. Like, I agree with you totally. I absolutely, totally agree with you. You adapt to what you need to adapt to against the team you're playing. Now, we're a team that at the moment are defensively poor. Yes. And we've been defensively poor for quite a long time now. But to go to Man City and just not change tactics and just to play our way, for me, was very naive.
Yep. Like the previous 3 games showed that playing a back four isn't going to work.
No, it was never. No, I'm not saying I'm not saying we're going to win. I'm not saying we're going to get a draw. But we needed to change something. We needed to do something a little bit different, especially against them. And they picked us apart, didn't they? They embarrassed us. And Rob Holding was isolated. I'm not like. Do you know what? He weren't the worst player out there. No. There was quite a few, weren't there? We're being totally honest, yeah.
Yep.
Midfield were not good enough. Absolutely not been good enough for them.
Yep. That first goal, I was I'm doing this watch long, and I'm literally that first goal, and I'm like, I see everyone on Twitter, like my phone's going mental at Ramsdale. I'm like, what's that? Yeah, Ramsdale could have done better, got down a bit quicker, maybe. But then he's been completely left exposed because Partey's gone running into no man's land, nowhere near the ball. And Gabriel's was running alongside, like 3-4 yards.
2-1. What goal that is, mate? What goal that is.
Oh, well, it is.
But yeah, again, mate, it's just their press is just unbelievable, isn't it? They're not giving no one time on the ball whatsoever.
But you know what? I just saw a pass right into the middle, and what happened is instead of turning and taking the ball upfield, he passes it right back, which basically makes it easy for the press to work. You got to break it. You got to break the lines. We don't break.
Mate, that's unbelievable.
That shot from, like when you're giving up shots like that, it's like, and you're stopping them inside the box. All the attack you saw inside the box, they're able to control it. And that one, nothing. They just wear you down, right? And then when you when you fall asleep,
but they didn't even wear us down, did they, mate? That's the thing. They didn't even wear us down. They were just running through us.
Yes.
Like within the first 2 minutes, mate, and there was nothing. There was literally nothing. Yeah. Like that game should have been 4-5-0 at half time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good shot, but you give him all that. You give a strike all that space.
Fulham can't adapt to it. They can't adapt to their press whatsoever.
No.
Well, that's why That's why you have to break the lines when they're given. When the opportunity opens up, you have to take it. If you don't take it and you pass it right back, so you pass it backwards, you get punished for it.
Yeah.
Because the pass before the pass that gets intercepted, if he just turns upfield, he's got space, but he doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know who's around him, and he plays right into their hand. That's where Partey usually on a good day is really good because he'll make that turn and go upfield. He'll split the 2 defenders that are right there and put pressure on the defense. But we haven't seen that Partey in a while.
Well, I think I've seen a good and bad Partey for the last 3 years, if I'm being totally honest. I've seen the sublime Partey. I've seen the absolute excellent Partey. But what I have seen for a lot of times is the Partey who's not a leader. The Partey
we never had that guy. I don't think we had that guy. No. I don't even think that guy exists. So I don't think that's where we're going to get.
When the chips are down, mate, he's not the man that he's going to dig you out. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And he disappoints me at times, mate, because I know how good he can be. And
Like I said, I guess I was lucky. I may have got to see the last few times he's been really, really dominant in the midfield in that North London derby where he basically nothing went past it.
Yeah.
Nothing went past him. The ball in the air, a player, nothing. He was always there, cleaning up any kind of like threat. And you know what? Maybe he can't play a full season for us. We know that now.
Well, that's the other thing. I don't know if he's injured or not. Yeah, right. I couldn't really care less if he's injured. I've been honest, couldn't really care less if he's injured or not. If he's injured again, then do you know what? He's not, like you said, he's not the man to trust for 38 games a season. And when you watch Man City, you need a player for 38 games a season. You don't need it for 30, 32, 34. You need it for 38 games a season. Look at us now. Yeah, we was good for the first 30 games.
1-0 United.
Yeah. Rashford's shot gets pushed out and Bruno finishes it up.
But I'm not. I obviously don't want to talk about.
He might be called offside. It looks like Rashford might have been offside in the build-up. So
no one's really going to be coming in for Partey, are they? If we're being totally honest. So he's going to be around.
He'll be around what? One more year? One or 2 more years left?
He's definitely going to be around. But
so this means we bring in. You still have to bring in some younger reinforcement for that position, right? With that's where I don't know. I always thought that was it the Portuguese player that went to I forgot what his name was now, but it was a number 6, probably like 18, 20 years old. We could have picked him up in January. Just for
not William Carvalho.
Huh?
Not William Carvalho.
No, I forget his name now. I had it in my head back then, but it was a young player. I think he went to either one of the teams in relegation zones. Or forget his name now.
Sanchez? Not Sanchez.
Huh?
I can't remember his name now.
Yeah.
I know who you're on about as well.
Because if we're gonna go the young route and build him up, he looked promising, right?
Renato Sanchez or something like that.
Something. No, not Sanchez.
You go. Oh, good save again.
Yeah, they're gonna score 3.
It's gonna be about 5-1, mate.
He played for Lille recently, didn't he?
Did he go AC Milan in the end or not?
No, he went. I don't think so. I think he went to Lille.
Yeah,
they won their League One last season, season 4. Last season 4.
Mate, they can't fucking defend this team.
They're now splitting them apart and just finding whatever they want. Anything you leave open, there's a Man City player going there.
See, I think we need 2 centre midfielders.
Yeah, Renato Sanchez.
No, it's a younger player than that.
He's played at Swansea, and they got relegated that year.
Oh. But
We
we
needed
to bring somebody like a Jorginho who can cover Partey and is,
PSG now.
for amount of time.
Yeah, Renato Sanchez. He's now at PSG. He was at Lille. He went from Bayern Munich, loaned out to Swansea, didn't work there, and then suddenly his career was going nowhere. Ended up at Lille at one point. Just getting the teams up now, one sec. Just getting the teams that we're there with.
Newcastle are losing Southampton.
Oh, bloody hell. Oh. Yeah, so Lille and then Benfica last season. Now he's now at PSG for some reason.
The thing is, right, we need 2 centre midfielders. We need 2 centre midfielders, end of the story. Do you know what I mean? We need energy in there now. No offence to Xhaka and Partey, but they're the 30s now. We need to look at the future. Declan Rice, for me, is an absolute gimme. We need to get him through the door. And then, I'm not sure we can get him and the Brighton lads. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of money.
To say that, yeah.
We need 2 centre midfielders.
Yeah. Yep.
And we already spoke about the striker last week, so we don't really need to speak about that. But yet again, what I will say is, if you want a striker who's going to be prolific, we ain't got that striker at the moment.
No. Jesus is good, but he's more of the build-up. He does all the build-up stuff, and he's not.
But he's let us down in the last few games.
We need that striker, but someone that's clinical in front of goal as well. So
yeah, like you look at the chances against Southampton when it was 3-1 earlier on, where like we could have had a really good go at them. Like, do you know what I mean? All right, we need that. We definitely need a forward. We definitely need a striker.
Yeah, Stuart Armstrong with a goal for Southampton, by the way.
Ivan Toney, for me, would be a very, very good player for us. I will put that out there again. I agree with Arsenal forever on that one.
Yeah. I think the one thing that hangs over him at the moment, until he gets himself cleared of the charges against him, we don't want to spend that money, and then he gets charged and gets banned, and then we've spent money on the player that possibly will be banned, wouldn't he? That's the one thing probably holding the big clubs off at the moment.
Yeah.
They want to wait until that's cleared off and then go into him afterwards. But yeah, he's perfect. He's clinical from the spot as well. But he knows where the goal is. He can score a good free kick as well. English, he's young, he's hungry.
Yeah.
Quick to profile. Corner. I thought not a corner. The ball actually went out, but okay. Wow.
I reckon we definitely got to get like, including. I think we definitely got to get 3 to 4 players in. And,
big players, not just squad players either, actual starters.
Yeah.
Or competition at least to start.
Yeah, at least competition that will start games. Do you know what I mean? Competition that will start games in that first team. Because when you play in the Champions League,
and this is the
we ain't going to be able to do what we've done in Europa League for the last few years. We just play the second team all the way along.
No, and this is the thing that's been noticed, but we noticed in the last few weeks when we've dropped off is how small our squad is compared to Man City. Man City can literally rotate. It doesn't affect their gameplay whatsoever. They could lose someone to injury. It's not going to affect them like it does if we lost a Partey in midfield in past or Tierney, etc. Suddenly it's the end of the world for us. We need to start building our squad up, bulking it, but not just bulking it for the sake of it. As you say, competition for starting.
Yeah.
So everyone's kept on their toes, and the players, they're all at the same level in terms of performances and all that.
Yeah, no, the player I was thinking of was Danilo.
Danilo.
I was going to say him, but I didn't say it. I was going to say.
That's the player I was thinking of. He's a young player, which if it's either
he's gone Forest, isn't he?
He's at Forest. He scored yesterday.
Yeah, he went.
He's at Forest.
Yep.
Like
if you're going to bring in Kiwior, then Danilo is the same similar player. He needs time.
Yeah.
But he's the future, and you might get a good player out of that. So, I thought that would have been a good opportunity for us to bring him in. But the other part to this whole thing is, will Arteta actually substitute players? Will he rotate players?
Oh, thank you. Oh.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Will he actually rotate the players? Like, what does Trossard have to do to get a start?
Well, yeah. To be honest with you, mate, for me, he should be starting at the moment.
Yep.
Where I didn't even put him in front of Jesus at the moment, mate, because last couple games Jesus offered me nothing, absolute nothing.
No, it's not listening to better.
And I think we kind of got Jesus back, but I think we in some ways potentially we've rushed him back to and I know it sounds weird me saying that because
Arteta has trust in players, but never in their form sometimes.
But Trossard was in form.
Is it actually going to work? Is he actually going to fit? I mean, you know what? You could take Trossard in for, like you said, any of those those front three players we have. We're not going to lose anything. But he's actually the one that, for me, is in form.
Yeah, he was banging form, mate. He was banging form, mate. And he was playing centrally as well. And it was, do you know what? We played our best football when he played central. We
haven't won since he sat on the bench.
Don't surprise me, mate. The guy had 7 or 8 assists. He's so unfortunate that he's not playing. He's so unfortunate. I get why he's brought Jesus back. I get everything why he's brought Jesus back in, but I think the problem is, that probably Jesus has been out for 3-4 months, where he hasn't trained nothing. We've got him back into the team, and he's got. No offense to Leeds, but Leeds was quite a nice game for him to play in, weren't it? He got a penalty one of them was a penalty, do you know what I mean? And he done all right at Liverpool, to be fair, in the first 20, 25 minutes. But Trossard was in the form of his life, probably. Trossard was in such good form. 7 or 8 assists in his first 2 months at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Come on, mate.
Man, he won Arsenal Player of the Month, and we haven't seen him since.
It's unbelievable that we've not even attempted to get him back in, though. This is what I'm saying. We've kind of just stuck with it over the last 3 games. He's been very stubborn in terms of this is what it is, this is what I'm planning, and I'm not changing it, and I'm not changing the tactics, I'm not changing nothing. That's how it feels. He's not changing anything. And I do think Trossard, if there was anyone sitting on that bench at the moment, and you were sitting there thinking they could be hard done by for themselves, it'd be Trossard, wouldn't it? Kieran Tierney. Like, I think I dropped Zinchenko Tuesday. I think he's been awful the last few games as well.
Yeah.
Like, this is why you rotate. This is why you freshen it up. This is why when players do go in and out of form, don't they? Then that's about if players go out of form at Man City, Guardiola will have someone else in there straight away. He won't tolerate 3-4 performances in a row like it.
Well, no, look at what City did today, right? KDB is on the bench.
He's not even on the bench.
The man was like the best player on the pitch last week.
Yeah, but I think he's injured.
No, but
Ill.
He's ill.
All
right, maybe so. All right, man. I don't have an answer to that one then.
He's ill.
Yeah, like it's all about Fabio Vieira. Do you know what I mean, mate? He's done nothing here, right? He's done nothing since probably the Wolves game when he come on and he got an assist. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's been absolutely piss poor, right? But if Xhaka gets injured, we continue to play him. I'd rather play Trossard in that position. If you're not going to play Emil Smith-Rowe, obviously the reason about Emil Smith-Rowe, play Trossard then. Do you know what I mean?
But if I'm Smith-Rowe as well, I understand I've been injured. I've had surgery on muscle injury for 3 years and all that. But you're back now. You've been back for a while. And like you said, the other week when Xhaka was out for Southampton, I said it at the time. That was the perfect game for Smith-Rowe to get in, get some minutes behind him in his title charge. And he didn't play him at all. And then what was it on Wednesday? We're 3-0 down, and then he brings on Smith-Rowe. Like, what is he expecting Smith-Rowe to do at 3-0 to the other team? If Smith-Rowe is annoyed, I can understand it because he's like, well, what do I have to do? I can't prove myself unless you get me on the pitch.
Yeah, I think if I'm Emil Smith-Rowe at the moment, mate, like you're seriously considering what your future's going to be, really, aren't you? Like if you can't get in front of Fabio Vieira, mate, something ain't right for me because we've seen time and time again what Smith-Rowe can do when he plays for Arsenal. We've seen it. We've seen what ability he's got. Like if you look at the start of last season, he single-handedly after the first 3 games here, right, he scored about 9-10 goals, didn't he, between that September to December period, and. And like the season before, he was the one who kept Arteta in a job, in my opinion. Like if you never brought him into the team, I think Arteta would have been out of a job by that point. So it's a bit strange what's gone on with Smith-Rowe. Like obviously we don't know what goes on in the background and all that kind of stuff. But for me, Fabio Vieira should never be in front of Emil Smith-Rowe.
Well, and that's the thing. Arteta puts a lot of trust in the players that he brings in, even when they don't pan out. Like he gave Sambi too many chances. He gave Nuno Tavares too many chances. But his own players that are actually playing well, like you said, like Emil Smith-Rowe, like even a real Reece Nelson, all of these players that have shown lately and some in the past that they can bring you something. You won't play them. We need 5 to 10 players. Some of them are already here, but I don't know if they'll play.
I'll give you a good example yesterday. The Brighton manager. The Brighton manager yesterday made a wholesale change, didn't he? To the point where Merson was challenging in that, was he doing it because he didn't want to get in Europe? The team go out and beat Wolves 6-0. Do you know what I mean? The team go out and beat Wolves 6-0. Sometimes that's what you got to do, mate. Do you know what I mean? Even down to Saka, he's not exempt from sitting on the bench, mate. Do you know what I mean? Yep. Why not? Like, do you know what? I'll be honest with you, mate. On Tuesday, for me, this is over, mate. This Man City team are too good now to throw this away. Like, you've seen what they do with the press. They're too good, mate. They're like they would have to really, really tragically throw it away now, and it'd be the biggest bottle of all time when people start talking about bottle. Do you know what I mean? But you think of Tuesday night, and do you know what? I would sit there and I would put at least 4 or 5 on the bench after the Man City game. I'd put and give the others a chance. Give them a go. Give them a go. Make it, mate. Well, how much?
I hear what you're saying, he'll put the wrong players in, not the players that are fighting for starting positions. He'll put the players in that need maybe some help, like the Fabio Vieiras and stuff, which I don't want. Well, I don't want. Trossard should start easily, right? Like you said, if Emil Smith-Rowe is healthy, if he's healthy.
Well, he's got to be. If you're sitting on the bench, you've got to be healthy, ain't you? If you're sitting on the bench for Arsenal Football Club, mate, you've got to be healthy. You could you don't put a person on the bench for 10 games, right? Just not to do it. The only other reason that I think now is right, because what happened before with Mesut Ozil when he didn't put him on the bench, the stories that he used to do, then you start thinking, was he just putting him on the bench just to kind of quilt it all over? Do you know what I mean? Is there something else going on in the background? But for me, on Tuesday, Thomas Partey don't deserve to start for me. Thomas Partey don't deserve to start.
I've stuck Jorginho and Xhaka.
Yeah, right. And I'll be honest with you, mate. I think Reece Nelson deserves, mate. Even on Wednesday, he came on that pitch, right, and he was direct, and he was the only person who tried to beat a player.
And he looked a threat. Yeah.
Give him an opportunity. Do you know what I mean? And I trust that's the start.
Yeah, well, Reece Nelson is what we've been asking for, players on the bench who actually want to start. He looks like he wants to play football. Like all Trossard does when he comes on is say, "Look, you shouldn't drop me." Reece Nelson comes on, he's like, "I'm giving you energy. This is what you need when you bring me on." Right? All these other players come on, they don't give us any. They don't change anything in the game. They don't, they don't try. There's nothing they're trying. So yeah, for me, those are the players you want because they're the players that want to start.
Yeah, I think like his attitude, Nelson, for me this year has been exempt, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like he hasn't started much, and like he knows he's not going to start much. He's got injured at a crucial time when he didn't really want to get injured. Yep. But when you think about a player who's come off the bench, Forest, mate, we was absolutely shocking against Forest till he come on the pitch. By the way, we was 1-0 up, mate, but it was awful. He comes on, he basically wins the game for us. He then comes on and makes that massive impact against Bournemouth, right? Which, to be fair, it's probably one of the biggest moments of any player's career at the Emirates. Yeah. Like, and he's got that moment. But even then, mate, he doesn't get overruled by it. He doesn't let it hit his head. Do you know what I mean? He then comes on and does it again. Southampton, he made an impact against Southampton. Right, he could have got a winner again there. And then even Wednesday night, he comes on against Man City, mate, and he's still looking to impress. He ain't worried about being direct. And it's like, do you know what? Like that's the kind of person that you want. That's the kind of person you want around the club. I'm not saying that he's a well beater, but do you know what? He's got a great attitude, and he can do stuff. And I think I'd look at these last 3 games for Arteta and think, do you know what? I'm going to make some changes now. Yeah. Like. Some players let me down, and some players have let him down in the last 3 games, mate. There's no excuse for the 3-3. Do you know what I mean? For me, there's no excuse for what Ramsdale does in the first 10 seconds. You play that out to your left back, mate. You don't try and play it to your centre back in the first 10 seconds. Yeah, right. And try and play again through 2 attackers. You just don't do that. I think Ramsdale's let himself down, and I think he's let Arteta down by that because your game plan's thrown out the way in the first minute of the game. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then with this young team, all they kept thinking about was attack, and we were just getting picked off. So I think he needs to look at himself. And I think, like, don't get me wrong, at times he makes some unbelievable saves. And I'm one of his biggest fans with some of the saves he does. But there's other times when I see goals go past him and I sit there and think, should he have saved that? Do you know what I mean? Like, should he have saved that? And there's been a few times with that. And then, like, you look at the right back, I think Ben White's done really well. I think Gabriel's been a bit found out about Saliba, if I'm being totally honest. Probably not like people calling him out.
You know what? I said this when Saliba went down. Gabriel, please do not play over. Don't play outside your abilities. Don't try to do too much. That's exactly what he's doing, and that's what a young player does, and that's where the manager has to calm him down. You know, mentally, you cannot try to do too much. You're gonna kill your team. And that's what he's done. I mean, the penalty against West Ham, that's when he's trying to do too much, right? you have to at some point trust your center back next to you, and Holding was actually there to clear the ball, right? So
Yeah.
you try to do too much. Even if they score, you don't give away the penalty. And like it was just a good play on Rice and not a bad play on Saliba. You know what I mean? That's the difference in that whole situation. It
The
was a
thing
really
is,
good.
though, mate, with that, the thing is with that, though, yeah, right. We have got someone who could play beside him that would stop it. That would stop him doing that in Ben White. Do you know what I mean? Ben, like I said it last week. There's no point getting another right side centre back for me. Like potentially, you look at a right back and then you think if Ben White if someone Sleep gets injured, you can push Ben White to centre back. You're not going to get a better right centre back who's going to be second fiddle to Saliba in that position. But we could have played Ben. We could have gone two ways. We could have either gone three at the back and accommodated Rob Holding, but played him in the middle, Ben White and Gabriel, which would have totally not taken him out their remit as such, but given that little bit more stability. Yeah. Or what we could have done was we could have put Ben right into centre back, and then we could have gone with a different kind of right back, like we do at left back at some example. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it would have been any worse, mate. I don't think it would have been any worse whatsoever. Like, but I think Rob Holding and Gabriel do not complement each other whatsoever.
Yeah, no, I think there was a couple of, I guess, risky chances, things he could have done. One of them for me would have been, I know Saka has not been playing well, but put Saka on the back line. Give him something different. Give him something different to think about while he's still trying to get out of this little bit of a funk he's in, you know. Because I'd rather have my best 11 players on the pitch, not my best 11 at some point, especially in this season. Because now you can bring Trossard in and let him play up top, and Saka could play. He's played at right back, right? He's played everywhere pretty much, in a lot of positions. So we need to do something different. That's the key thing to this whole thing is something different. We cannot play the same way with Holding. We can't. And it was proven in the first 3 games going into City. We play the same way. It's not the same team. We have to accommodate for him being on the pitch. He doesn't necessarily, it's not really his fault, but he doesn't help because he can't. That's not, he's just, there's levels. As I say, there's levels to this thing. He's not at Saliba level. So when you dip in form, and not dip in form, but you dip in quality, either accommodate for it, right, with a position change or formation change, or you accommodate with it by playing differently. We can't play City the same way. Like, think about it, we played City the same way we played Hampton, right? And both teams scored 3+ goals on us. Nothing. So we did nothing different, and we gave away all those goals anyway. So something had to change. I mean, you saw like Pep is a mentor to our center. Silva playing on the back line is like, look, you have to know your players. We keep talking about versatility, like you said, and we never play them there. Ben White is a center back. He never plays there when we really some solid defensive work in the middle of the pitch, right? You need to solidify the spine. That's what you paid that money for him as a center back. He's been good at right back. Now the cards are on the table. City's coming to town. We need to solidify the spine. Partey's not been right. Some people said double pivot, right, with Jorginho. And then that will slow down our attack. Guess what? How many shots did we get on Wednesday, right? Nothing. I mean, Martinelli got no shots. Saka got 1. That's, Jay Juice isn't going to give us that much in that kind of a game. No. So you basically, their attack was gone anyway. But defensively, you could have been a little bit more solid. Get them on the counter, like some teams do. We're down 2 men, right? Tomiyasu and Saliba basically hurt us really bad in this game, and we played the exact same way. He got punished for it, and it is a learning curve, but I think it was something that could have been learned in the prior 3 games. You know what I mean?
I think there's a struggle with the learning at the moment in a lot of ways, in my opinion. It's not on the pitch as well as off it. Like I called it. This is a prime example for me, where a team's just not learning as well. It's like at home. And we've said about this before, 3 times in the last 4 games, we've conceded a shot in the first 10 to 15 seconds of the game. And it's like, I think it's naivety in a lot of ways. Do you know what I mean? I think they're very naive at times. And I think that probably comes from the coach. I honestly think the coaching staff were naive about Wednesday night, in my opinion, because there was no way in my head that I thought we could set up like that at Man City without getting drubbed. Sorry, and the reason I say that is right because you can't, as you see today, you can't tactically go man to man with Man City. You've got to do something different. You can't go same formation as Man City basically at this stage. Like we know who we are, we know where we are. So you do something a little bit different, don't you? You adapt. And I felt like we was back in the Wenger days a little bit. If I'm being totally honest, with you, mate, on Wednesday night, that we just went to a ground and just let them roll us over, and it was like, we're not going to change our way. We're going to go and play our way, and we're not going to change it for absolute anyone, even if it means we get drubbed. And that game could have ended up 6-7-1, mate. It could have been absolutely embarrassing for us. And do you know what? If it was 6-7-1, I would not be able to have an argument about it whatsoever. But no one. I honestly thought on Wednesday that I thought that we'd stick with the same kind of team as we did, but we'll change it a little bit and put Saka right wing back. I thought Saka might have gone right wing back Wednesday. Do you know what I mean? So it'd given the centre backs a little bit more option and not give Haaland the time and the space to be able to do what he done. But we just didn't do it, did we? And it was just naive. And I've had debates with certain fans who, and like they've said that we shouldn't change it. And I'm just like, but this is Manchester City, mate. Like Liverpool back in the day, we couldn't compete with Liverpool because they were that good. But we changed it to suit the result. Do you know what I mean? You change it to suit the result. And there's never going to be a better time, right, to win the league than this year. There was never a better time than this year to win the league. Now, hopefully we'll move forward and we'll buy some really good players. I think we'll still be one of the best top three teams next year, without a shadow of a doubt, especially if we spend well. But we got to adapt. And it's unfortunate we lost to Labour. It's unfortunate we lost Tomiyasu. But you've got to adapt to the situation. And if it means you have to change your tactics or change your formation for a game or two, then that's what you do, isn't it? That is what you do to win. Now, that's what I think. Right? I know I speak to a couple and they think that. But then you got other people going, nah, I think you've done the right thing Wednesday. I think you've done totally the right thing. I'm lost by it.
Got it. Today, a couple of things you said there. Today, KDB's out of the game. Are they playing through their attacking mid today? Everything's going to the outside. Grealish.
Yeah, they basically changed to.
So that right there, like if Arteta is following his mentor, you play to the strength of your team at that point in time, right? Partey's having a bad day. We're not going through the middle. You know what I mean? We're gonna have to go outside and figure it out there, because that's what we have. Like take what's given to you. Like you said, if you're going to fit to this particular scheme and formation, then you have to have the players in every position. Every position. And Tomiyasu isn't the problem. It's the fact that they did not have players behind both Saliba and Ben White. They needed one player behind both, not a player that can do both, right? This whole versatility thing doesn't work. We found that out too many times now because we always seem to lose the player who's either versatile or that player behind him that's versatile. So then, you know what? This 1-to-1 is probably better where if you have a player behind everyone that can play, like you have 25 players. That means you could potentially have a player behind every. Trossard answers that question, right? But we don't have that on the back line, right?
Do you think?
On the back line, we don't have that.
Do you think, right? And Arteta's played this before, right? Like, I'll be very surprised he played this now because considering there was a title on the line. But does he pick the team and go, well, I ain't got nothing else? Is it another aim at the ball? Like he's sitting there thinking, okay, short term pain here, but long term, like I want these players in these positions. Is it potentially that?
It's a cookie cutter thing, man. If you don't fit, it doesn't matter if there's some gaps there. Think about it. That's what he does. You can't bring in a Vieira for who did you bring him in for the last time?
Xhaka.
And then go. You know what? It's a like for like. We're not missing anything when we bring him on. That's false, right? There's so many things wrong with that. He can't do half the things Xhaka does, and we want better than Xhaka, right? So how is Vieira? Vieira's not even gonna hold water to the situation. So He just has a plan. It's written in pen. He can't change it, right? And the players that start the game have to see it through most of the time, right? 60, 70 minutes, and then he's thinking about substitutions. Yeah, halftime subs is a good thing sometimes. You know what I mean? And if it's not working out in the first 20 minutes, you sub. We've seen him do that when it's been really poor, but he waits until it's really poor. If that's either you change up your formation or you just make the sub, right? You just make the sub, right? Just make the sub.
I think he's got. I think he definitely has. I definitely think he has to run some changes on Tuesday, whatever happens.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not one of these that think Chelsea's going to be an easy game because we all know, right? Chelsea, they're in an absolute dreadful.
We went down 3-1 to Southampton. What team is behind Southampton in terms of like the league?
No, there's no one. They are beating Newcastle at the moment, though, by the way. But there you go.
No, but on there, they were beating us 3-1, right? We were top of the table. They're beating us 3-1. Anybody can be beat on a day.
But I think Chelsea's going to be a tough game, mate. And like we know that that it's a rivalry. We don't like them; they don't like us. Do you know what I mean? That sooner or later they've got to beat someone. So Tuesday game is like I look at it it's not Chelsea that are playing like absolute dreadful moment. It's Chelsea that are a rival. And we need to go out there and beat them because, firstly, we want to try and stay in a title race just in case there is a slip up at Man City. And I know that's a little percentage now, but
you know what? It's not even that. We cannot let these last 4 games be the reason why we don't finish on 15 points in the next 5. That you know what I mean? We cannot bring the loss and the draws in from the previous game into the next match. That's what we did last season. Remember last season we had 3-game skids twice. Hurt us. This season, guess what? 4-game skids. We've dropped points in 4 straight. We haven't won in 4 games. One of them was a cup EFL game, but there was 4-game stretches where we didn't get a win, and we did it again at the end of the season as well, right? And that's when that's for me. That's the coaching, because you got to stop that. And you can't stop it by saying, I'm going to put the same 11 out there doing the exact same things. Like we talk about practice, right? He talks about practice and how players show us in practice how things are going to be. So in that whole month when we played those 4 games, the practice was really good for all those 11 starters that we had. I don't believe so. I don't believe so at all. So I think that's.
I think it's lack of leadership as well, mate. Like, you can only do so much, can't you? Like, don't get me wrong. He picks a team. He picks a tactic. So, like, Man City, mate, for me, he has to take a lot of responsibility for. Like, I think Southampton, mate, like, you can't plan for what happens in the first 10 seconds of that game, mate. You just don't plan for it, do you? But I think it's lack of leadership in the team as well, mate. And it sounds a bit weird because we've actually hit a purple patch this season in terms of at one point we was looking at 100 points. So then you sit there and think, well, really, do you need leaders? But you do need leaders because this is the moment when you need the leaders and the characters on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? Because at certain times, right, it needs someone on the pitch to say, do you know what? We're going to sit back in for 10, 15 minutes. We're going to ride it out and then we'll go again. Do you know what I mean? Just like all our great teams done. Vieira, Adams, all them kind of. And I'm not trying to compare because you're not going to get a captain like Tony Adams or Patrick Vieira, but you need players who are going to make the right decisions at the right times on the pitch. And I think, especially the Southampton game, I think we was naive in that game. I think we was really naive. And I'll tell you why I think we was really naive was the reason why we went 2-0 down instead of 1-0, because we just went totally gung-ho too early. And this is an Arsenal side that averagely scores 3 goals a game anyway. So we didn't really need to go that gung-ho too early, but it needed a leader to say, do you know what? Let's calm this down. Let's get back to our structure, our shape, and then we'll go again. Give it 10, 15 minutes. But we didn't do that. And that's why the Southampton game turned out like it was. And I just think the next group of players that we get in, they've got to have leadership material, because I think we've got so much ability in the team. And that's why I think Declan Rice alone, mate, for his leadership qualities, is going to be a massive, massive thing. And we can get that one over the line. I think that's going to end up being one of Arteta's best ever signings because it's what he will give you on the pitch and how he will manage the players on the pitch. And West Ham's totally different to being at Arsenal. I totally get that. Do you know what I mean? But he's a player.
Well, here's the thing: if he comes to Arsenal, I'm sorry, but he's probably the captain. You know what I mean?
He won't be, will he? But he should be.
No,
he won't be, but he should be.
You don't bring him in like that and then spend all that money on him and then go, you know what? You're the captain for West Ham, but for Arsenal, nah. You're bringing him in because he's the captain, right? That's what you're bringing him in for. You know, it's okay. Erdegaard, you know, it might be a little too early in his career, anyways, for being a captain. But you bring in a right. Like for me, that would send a message to everyone, even Erdegaard, right?
Yeah.
Because he's getting pulled in like what 2 of those 4 games we just played, right? We need our captain on the pitch for the entire 90 minutes. Like you said, we need leadership. He can't give it to us, so Arteta's got to pull him for some reason.
Well, Jonesy in the chat saying he brought Jorginho to help us through this title race with his
never used him.
With experience and calmness. Yet started Vieira against Southampton.
Yeah, he never used Jorginho. Like even that Brentford game, he didn't bring Jorginho in that game to see it out.
No,
that's, you know what, like. You got probably 2 of the best January signings for a team in a run, and you never used them in April.
Yeah,
like you never used them in to start a match or to stop what was going on. You never did that. Like the game's getting out of hand, you never brought him in to stop it until it was too late.
1-1 Newcastle. Wilson just scored.
No, I totally agree with you there. I totally agree with you. Like Jorginho, we should have seen a little bit more. Like I would have, because we was on that little bit of a slump after the West Ham. Look, the West Ham game, mate. Saka scores. We probably win that game 5-1 if we're being totally honest. We'd have probably overrun them in the second half. And unfortunately, I think the Saka penalty miss is going to be the defining moment of the season.
No. Think about this. So say that's Rice coming up to him after he misses that shot. What happens next?
Mate, I tell you what he does. What he does, right, is you do what you do for that player, right? But in the next 5 minutes, you set that team up right to override any kind of storm because you know once a penalty has been missed like that, especially somewhere like West Ham, their towers are going to be up. Do you know what I mean? But let's be honest, the goal they scored was absolutely pathetic in terms of the way, like it was a long ball over the top. No one tracked him, and he's hit it first time. Yet again, I still think, and it's another one. I'll sit there and go to Ramsdale. I think you should have done better there, mate.
Well, you know what? I always say this. A goalkeeper has to make that save. The one where you go, wow. Because De Gea in his days, when we think about how many times we played Manchester United and De Gea, you're like, that's got to be a goal. Nope. He makes a stop. No matter, he can't even see the ball. He sticks an arm out. Boom. It's gone. It's cleared out past the goal. Ramsdale does that 50% of the time. But we need him to be perfect in some games, and he's not that.
It was yet again though in that game we watched it, didn't we? It was all like we weren't winning 50-50s all over the pitch in that game. So in my opinion, right, the midfield's been a big problem for us for the last 3-4 games. West Ham, I'll sit here now and say in the first 10 minutes we was 2-0 up, but we was losing all the 50-50s. We just seemed to attack twice and score twice. And Southampton. Mate, that young kid, he totally bossed the centre midfield for 85 minutes of that game. Like, Thomas Partey and all that. Thomas Partey was playing centre-back most of the game. Like, what I see, he was literally playing as a centre-back role.
You know what happened? Yeah, I was going to say, you know what happened in at least in the last number of games? Ramsdale is getting flashbacks from previous seasons when he's been in a relegation situation. If you look at the videos from that, it looked just like what he's looking at right now. I mean, the way we're getting turned and it's Ramsdale and an attacker with the ball and nobody around him, you're like, he's seen this is flashbacks. It's probably haunting him. that's when we talk about these relegation battles that relegation being relegated multiple times. That's what he was looking at. He was looking it looked exactly like that with a defense in front of him that's just not good, not good. Flashback, right?
Yeah,
And
Jonesy.
yep.
Sorry,
What?
but Jonesy in the chat is also saying Odegaard is a proper captain, and a lot of the stuff you don't see on the TV, you see in the stadium. He's always picking up the players, getting the crowd going. If Rice comes, he wouldn't be replaced as captain. I think what we meant is obviously he'll be the vice captain basically. But Odegaard captain, and then Jorginho's there. But obviously either way, Rice with that experience, that leadership quality that he's inherited from West Ham and
Yeah, Odegaard won't get. There's no way Odegaard's getting taken off.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm just saying, like, if I was the manager and I'm bringing in a Rice, I probably once again, I may not have thought of Odegaard as a captain just yet. Anyways, if I was the manager, but if I'm bringing in a player like Rice and I'm still on the fence of my captain, or I feel like we need that an even better captain than we have, then so be it, right? Like we always talk about, if you can bring in a better player than you got, then you bring him in, right? And do you sit him? No, you play the better player. So for me, if you have, if Rice is that better captain, you bring him in. That's fine, but I can see it not happening. But that's what we're missing, anyways. We keep talking about it, right? We keep talking about what's what we're lacking sometimes. And if you just said it, so it's not always that Earth is actually doing the role, filling the role a lot of times, right? Because we're looking at games and we're like, who is get like rah-rahing up the crowd? I don't. It's not the crowd that's the problem. It's just those 10 players.
Joseph does say he goes around picking up the players and he does lead by example on and off the ball. Yeah. He may not be the most vocalist in terms of shouting and screaming all the time.
I kind of feel like we need something like that.
Declan can be that. Right? Declan can come in and do that, but not have to have the armband. Yep. That makes sense, because we had that back in the early Wenger days. Even when he started having his squad of the 02-04 era, you had your Vieira as a captain, but then you had Sol Campbell, Adams, Keown, Parder, Dixon, Lauren, Stevens, Lehman. It's a collective.
Yeah.
Just because you didn't have the armband didn't mean you couldn't then lead by example and give your teammate a bollocking or pick him up when they need to pick him up.
It's not looking good. We're not going to see Mr. Tom today.
Oh, it's 3-1 now.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
To be fair, with Odegaard, right? Like, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because if your midfielders ain't doing their job, and not, he's in a 3-man midfield. But he's like the attacking midfielder. But if your two centre midfielders are not doing what they need to do, then he's never going to be able to play his game, is he? Unfortunately, because he relies on literally them to do their job, and everyone basically everyone in midfield to do their job for him to be able to do his job. Where I think in that Man City game, he was totally anomalous because we just weren't doing our job, was we? Well, they were literally running through our centre midfield, just like that. And I think that's why, like with Thomas Partey, I think it's come to a point with Thomas Partey where it's become acceptable that he has unbelievable games. That he has the games when you sit there and think, when he's on his form, he don't want no one else. But then he has what he called himself the 4 out of 10 games. And I've seen a lot of them where he goes missing. And I think the worst thing about Wednesday was that he got bullied by Jack Grealish. Come on, man. That was embarrassing.
You know, with that, Jonesy, don't be mad at me about the Rice thing. I that's what comes to my mind when I think of bringing a Rice in, is that can happen. But yeah, like you said, the Partey that played at Atletico Madrid, did we ever get that guy?
No, don't. We get glimpses.
We had it at Man United away and Man City at home.
You know what I mean? Like, because that I'm like going like Simeone, the way he coaches and the way we see his teams play. I'm like, can I get a little bit of that over here? When are we going to see that? Because that guy, that if you're playing for him, the way I've seen that team play, that's what we're missing, right? You keep talking. We're missing that beast in the middle of the pitch, right?
Yeah.
Nothing's going by him, and even if you think you got by him, you're going down somehow. You're not. He's not going to let you control this game. He's going to slow it down somehow. We don't get that guy. He's. I don't know if it's the way we're playing, and we're a little bit more timid when we play there, but we need a little bit more aggression in the middle of that pitch, and I thought that's what he would bring to us.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, he doesn't really bring that, and I just think that moment with Grealish, like for me, is you're sitting there, like it's kind of like, mate. Can you imagine Jack Grealish going out to Declan Rice and grabbing him like that? It ain't going to happen, mate. Do you know what I mean? It ain't going to happen because if he does it, yeah, right, he's going to get it back, mate. And we're talking about Jack Grealish at the end of the day. We're not talking about anyone. But it was like Partey kind of took it, do you know what I mean? And I was just like, mate, you need to man up, mate. And fucking that, like, these are the moments, yeah, right, where it's not all about like on the pitch in terms of football. It's about, do you know what I mean, being aggressive, being like intimidating, do you know what I mean? And sometimes I think that we need to get back to that a little bit. Like, could you imagine back in the day with Vieira?
Well, you got to do one of two things though. Either you go into fight fire with fire, or you're just gonna beat them with your own game. You know what I mean?
We can't do that with Man City, though. We can't.
No. But in any game,
yeah.
like any of those 3 games we drew,
yeah,
we can play with those teams the way they are. Like Liverpool right now, we can play with them right now. But definitely West Ham and Southampton, we can play. We can backfire with fire. We should be able to, right?
Yeah.
We didn't do that, so.
Yeah. Like the Liverpool game, mate, right, is an interesting one for me. For me, I think, do you know what? After the game, I thought, yeah, I was gutted we didn't win the game because we dominated them in the first half. But you come away from Anfield with 2-2. Do you know what? You still have your heads up high. That's not a bad result. That's a good result. Liverpool, realistically, any other season is still probably the top one of the top 3 teams in the country at the moment. They just had a dreadful season. Right, we should have gone away from that game. Going, do you know what? We got away with it a little bit in the end. But do you know what I mean? Like, go on to the next game. But the West Ham game and the Southampton game and the Man City game, we've just literally... Oh!
Go.
Mate, what's he done? Why hasn't he kicked it, mate?
Oh, mate. Taken down, I think.
What?
He got taken down. Edison took him down from behind. Oh, yeah, because it's Edison. They're fucking, no, don't be silly.
Anyway, yeah, but them last 3 games, we've just literally not competed the way we should compete, and I think the midfield has been massively, massively key to that. Do you know what I mean? As well as individual errors at key times, and you've got to cut all that out. You certainly got to cut out the individual errors at this time of the season. Do you know what I mean? See that there, yeah, right? That is something that's happened to us. It's good against us like that. They've got the luck of the green there. Because that's no different to what Ramsdale does.
Yeah, and those are the little things, right? We talk about we're not even doing the little things right.
Yeah,
like a simple pass out to your fullback or your center back on the outside, and the Southampton situation never happens, right?
Yeah.
I mean that was too easy to, there's 3. I think there's actually 3 attackers in the middle of the pitch at that point. And you have you have Holding on the right hand side, pointing to him to pass the ball forward. I'm like, no, you should be getting the ball.
Yeah.
So it's the little things we weren't doing late in the game. And you know what? I always say, if we have 38 games, I want you to get just a little bit better in all 38. Each one. If you do that, you'll be okay. We reverted back and did a lot of bad things that we weren't doing before. And that's for me, it's on the players, but it's also on the management not identifying that, look, they're not even doing the little things right now. How are we going to go out there and do some big things like, go out there and beat City on the road? You can't. Got to do the little things right. Ooh, and nice shot there from Leeds, but it gets stopped at the post. But yeah, no. We this is what happens when you get tired. When you get tired, what do? You lose your form, right?
Yeah.
And we're looking like that right now. We're doing like you said, our concentration is gone. If you can't even start a game after the whistle, you're either something's not right. Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing Arteta's got to learn next year as well, and it's something that he hasn't had to do. Is that he's going to have to rotate in the Premier League next year massively.
I've been asking for rotation since day one. You know
he's
why?
Going to have to go next year. He's going to have to because of Champions League. And that's why, right. It might even be right. There might be a couple of players out there, right. That do you know what? Right, we might not necessarily gone for before. Could be up for like kind of free transfer. That where you just think, do you know what? It bolsters the squad. It gives us options. Like for me, like I look at our bench now. And I think, who do I really want starting next year out of that bench? You know what I mean? Because that's where you've got to look at first and foremost is who's on the bench and who, like Eddie Nketiah. Do I really want him starting next year? No, not really. Do you know what I mean?
We only have two good players right now. We don't know if he is starting.
Oh, it's a penalty.
Man, this ref is corrupt.
How is that not a penalty? How is that not a penalty?
Prick. Holds him off. Madly's in charge of VAR, apparently.
Oh, I've got no, mate. There's no hope with the VAR, mate.
Madly is in charge of VAR. Said no penalty. Literally in 2 seconds of looking at it.
But they gave the one yesterday. But they gave the one yesterday because the whistle blew. The geezer blew the whistle.
Yeah. Joke. But you're gonna watch the likes of fucking Dermot Gallagher and fucking the guy from BT. Oh, well, it wasn't brought in for this and that and the other.
This referee is shocking, by the way. Who is it?
It's pathetic.
No, here he is. He thinks he's some kind of big man, this Grealish nowadays, don't he? Like, where's he got that he's some kind of tough nut now, mate?
Well, look at Vinicius in his face.
Someone needs to put one on him, mate. Do you know that?
The referee bottled it there. The referee's caused this. The ref had a fucking spine. That's a penalty.
Referee, he was at our game the other week, weren't he? Was he at Southampton?
Yeah.
Shit.
If he had a spine, he'd give that penalty. Because he doesn't, he's caused this. Joke.
It's tiring watching fucking referees, mate. Do you know that? It's bad enough watching your own team.
You get fucking Peter Walton and BT yesterday going to Bobby Savage over the West Ham game going.
Did you see that?
Technically, he wasn't brought in to help, but basically cause less drama. Well, what was he brought in for then? What have you thought?
His actual words were, "It's to stop horrendous decisions."
Yeah. Well, that was
no shit, Sherlock. Like, how's that gone for the last 3 seasons?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
It's got worse. And
let's be honest, Peter Walton is a voice muppet. That's all he is, mate.
Dermot Gallagher for Sky. They're both puppets. They're both
muppets, mate. They're muppets.
They're both on the payroll still.
They're basically trying to polish shit.
Yeah.
Like, trying to make shit look good. Do you know what I mean? We know shit smells bad. We know that. Do you know what I mean? But they're trying to make it smell good. And there's no way you can paint it or look it to make it smell good. Peter Walton, mate, when he said that yesterday, that he said stop horrendous decisions, he totally, like Robbie Savage had him in a headlock at that point. Like, it's horrific. But it's not just literally, right? It's not just literally on the pit off the VAR. It's the referees on the pitch as well.
Yeah.
They're as bad, mate. They don't know. They won't make a decision now. They will not make a decision. Like, how many penalties, right, have you seen at Arsenal this year that have not been given? But then you see the one Elise or Eze yesterday. I think it was Eze yesterday. Yeah, and you're scratching your head and you're thinking, because he's blown his whistle, then VAR give it.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't blow his whistle, VAR won't give it.
Start of the season, we played Aston Villa in the first couple of games of the season.
How's that not a penalty, mate? He's got his arms on him, mate. He stopped him, mate, from turning around.
Literally. But Tyrone Mings, the start of the season at the Emirates, grabs Saka, literally around like that, and yanks him to the floor. No penalty.
Mate, you just don't know what to say anymore.
Again, just to be clear, it's not the system that's the problem in terms of tech. It's the people that are handling the tech who are also on the pitch. Because they don't have a clue. They don't know their arse and third base. The rules are one rule says this, one rule says that,
How is that not any
It's not
different
going to
than
interpretation.
not putting a line on an offsides decision?
No, no.
If you're the side judge watching
Yeah,
that play
that.
from that side of the think about it, from that side of the field, he's actually the closest as close as he's ever going to be to that situation. He can see the offensive player has got a clear path to the ball, and it goes down like by magic, right?
No, no, yeah. But since Howard Webb's come in back in November, like he's took charge of things. The only change that's sort of happened really when the mistakes are made is he will make a apology to the club respectively who's been affected.
Yeah.
What's an apology going to do? If you're going to keep apologising for the same mistakes that keep happening week in, week out, the apology means nothing in the end, especially when it affects a title race. I mean, the Brentford game back at the Emirates.
It's not a title race. It's every race. It's
Yeah,
the
but
relegation.
It
affects the money of all these squads.
But what I'm
Either
saying
at the
is,
top of the table or the bottom of the table.
I'm just using that as an example. A title race or relegation or European spots, like a team that's never been in Europe wants to get there. Them dropping the points that they've cost because of a horrendous error that's been made, horrendous by the way, or a referee, someone in the VAR room forgets to put lines in or forgets to look at something, for example, but they get an apology. That means nothing because at the end of the day, it could be the difference between a title, Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, or even staying in the league itself. But a written apology from Howard Webb, that makes up for everything. No,
yeah,
it
but
doesn't.
who gives a shit about Howard Webb's apology at the end, mate? Do you know what I mean? I'd be telling him to stick his fucking apology, mate, and don't waste your fucking phone call and don't waste your paper. Because I don't want an apology. I don't want an apology. Every single time, I don't want an apology. No. You want action, don't you? You want to see these guys. But it's not getting better, mate. It's not getting better whatsoever. What Howard Webb can print it up, paint it as how much he likes, yeah, right? It's not getting better. It's not improving. And it's not just VAR. It's the performances on the pitch, mate. These referees on the pitch are absolutely awful. And I'll tell you what's made them worse, VAR. Because what they do now is, yeah, right, they rely on VAR. And half the time they're not giving decisions is because, you know what? They'll think, oh, well, if VAR will put it back, but VAR won't put it back. VAR will only decide that it's a penalty if the ref's blown up. Like, honestly, like, Howard Webb's done nothing, in my opinion, yeah, right? Like, what's he done? I know he's only been there like 8 months, but there is no improvement anywhere. There's no improvement in terms of VAR decisions. There's no improvement in the referees on the pitch. Yeah, you sacked Lee Mason, but you know what? He had to be sacked after what he did. He had to be sacked at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And then you see what you got referees going out to Saudi Arabia, refereeing Saudi Arabia. Mate, they need to be sitting in some fucking training room getting taught how to referee again. If we're being totally honest, yeah?
Yeah.
Fuck. Like Mike Riley was the worst thing that could ever happen in English football. Mike Riley was the worst thing that could have ever happened in English football, mate. And unfortunately, the guy was left in charge of his own devices for absolute years. And this is the shit show that you've got now because of it. Ooh. This referee don't make a decision, mate. I've seen him a few times. He won't make a decision. Geezer will not make a decision.
No, he's got no spine or he lacks cojones, how he says. Troy Deeney would say. He lacks a pair between his legs. So any ref that has a pair would have given that. And then net VAR look at it and then go from there. But oh no, he just went, no, it's Man City. Can't give them. It might affect them not winning the title, so I've got to give them the penalty. Not giving the penalty, sorry. It's a joke. We keep saying it as well. This is meant to be the best league and all that, but we have literally the worst officiating ever.
I honestly think, right, they should actually sample and put players in charge of VAR and see what happens then. Like, even if you just did it for, like, I don't know, you just done it like over a certain course or whatever, or if it was like, I don't know, but I'd love to see ex-players in the VAR box because it couldn't be any worse.
Well, we keep mentioning
you know
it.
what? The one thing it has to be, it cannot be the game day officials running
No.
VAR. It can't. It has to be somebody who doesn't do this on that their only job in English football
Jesus
is VAR.
Christ, Rob.
That's it.
I'll tell you what, Man City on the racks here a little bit, mate. Like they're not looking comfortable, are they? In terms of like defensively.
Well, they know they've gotten away with too many things now, and you know what? They just pissed off Fulham. And when you piss off a team, guess what? The football sometimes gets better, and that's what's happening. Fulham is not playing around anymore, right? You know, they're not taking their foot off the gas. They're going to take any opportunity they can to go down because they know that's the only way the referee's going to see anything.
Well,
I mean, this is you talk about this is what it looks like, right? When you get pissed off in football, right? It looks like this. You play. Look how they've been playing now. Manchester United City is like trying to hold on. All right. The referees bailed him out a couple of times, but Fulham's got to force this thing down their throat. You know, Arsenal. Things that I'm looking for from Arsenal is something like this response to the way this game is getting taken out of Fulham's hands, right? But guess what? They haven't stopped. They haven't stopped at all, right?
Well, they do.
Well, you haven't even seen City that much in the attacking third. Fulham said, "Nah, not anymore." Right? Not right now.
Not the extent they were in the first half. No.
This is what we're missing as an 11. You know, as an 11, we're missing this. I mean, and one player that needs to stand up and show, look, this is how we do this. This is how we get through this point in the game. You know. So whoever that is, we don't have him right now because we're not seeing it. Somebody needs to stand up.
Newcastle, Ophelia Walcott own goal. Oh, bloody hell. Newcastle 2, Southampton 1. 3-1 now. 3-1 now, Wilson. Walcott with an own goal, though. Bloody hell, poor guy. What's his kid?
Fuck you, mate. Shame he didn't put one in the back of his own net for us, weren't it, really?
Yeah, bastard.
Yeah, don't need to go
Yeah, I think he'll retire this season. It looks like Southampton are going. We've all got weeks. They've been gone for weeks, but it's mathematically wise.
Shows how horrific that result was, weren't it? That 3-0. It was just such a dreadful result.
Yeah.
Such a bad result that was.
Those are the 4 points. Think about it. Those are 4 points. Those are probably the most important 4 points. As much as Saka's penalty miss, 4 points against the 20th team in the table.
Everton, a 19th. Yep. Lost there.
Yep.
Lost there, yeah.
Bournemouth, we had to fight our way to get back into that game, and they were 18th or something like that. We just don't play. We let down our guard against the teams we're supposed to destroy. It shouldn't even be close, right? Like we don't play. We play, and then that 3-game stretch basically killed us because usually we play a little bit better against City.
Yeah.
So this last game against City was like just terrible.
Colonel saying, come on, Dan James, score 2 this week, then score next week for Leeds, or against Leeds, I'm assuming he meant. I'm fear for Leeds, to be honest. I've done for the last few weeks.
Trouble now, mate.
Bournemouth are all but safe now with 4 games to go, 10 points clear, 18. As it stands. No, fair play. I mean, literally, when you look a few 6-7 games ago, they were in the relegation, didn't know they were going to get out of it, and they've got themselves out of trouble.
Unsung, he's done a great job there, mate.
Yeah.
It's something to be said about not having injuries late in the season, huh?
Oh, Fordy's. I doubt Leeds are recording.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, Foden's coming on for Mahrez, and Bernardo Silva's coming on as well for who though? Alvarez. Another thing is, just realised, obviously, the penalty that Man City was given, I had my doubts on that. In my opinion, that for me was soft. Yet Man City didn't. Leeds, Fulham didn't get that penalty a while ago, and that was more of a pen than the one Man City got, in my opinion. It's a joke. Consistency is fucking consistency. These officials.
And that's not even, you can't blame that one on like, well, I'll let VAR get it. It's like right in your face.
Yeah.
That's not even like, well, maybe it's on, maybe not. No, there's contact in the box, and if he doesn't bring him down, the attacker gets to the ball and puts some pressure on the goalkeeper.
I'll guarantee tomorrow, because if it stays like this, or City score a third and kill the game off now, when it comes to tomorrow morning on here in the UK on Sky Sports News, they do the ref watch bullshit. Dermot Gallagher will be asked his opinion on that. He'd go, "Well, I would have given the penalty, but I can understand why it wasn't given."
There's nothing you can understand. What does that mean?
I know. He does that every week. He does that every week. It pisses me off. He's brought on for his opinion. He sort of, I'll give you. This is what I would have done, but I can understand why it wasn't given.
Rangers went out, didn't they?
What was the score in the end?
1-0. See the Man City women score?
Yeah, go on.
4-1.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Even Steph Houghton scored.
Oh, bloody hell. Okay.
He's even playing still.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
How old is she now?
Oh, she's had a lot of injuries as well, hasn't she, recently? So that's, for God's sake, Tom.
She must be about 35, 36, hasn't she?
Got to be near the end of her time, career-wise. Yeah.
Good player, mate, she was, wasn't she?
Yeah, a player we created. Then
35.
Then she went running for the money, chasing the money when things went professional.
Yeah.
Hence why, whenever we play Man City, I refer to her as a traitor. Well, she could have stayed and made a legacy at the club. She went and chased the money, and now she's having a kick off because she's not in England. She can't get in the England squad anymore. Nothing to do with the fact she's constantly injured, love.
Oh, come on! There's nothing in this game now, is there?
Just beating out, isn't it? Going for the motions. Last few minutes of the game.
You know what? That run where they actually could have gotten the penalty is basically might have been the run. You know, that's worn them down. So now they're just trying to catch their breath again.
Oh, that was close.
And then City can bring in 2 fresh legs. So.
Still 1-0 at Old Trafford between United and Villa. Come on, Villa. Sort your lives out. Oh, dear.
Could be it. Or if it.
Look, it's toying of them.
They're taking the piss, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what? If they'd played a Brighton today, mate, they would have had a right hard game.
Well, fucking, I was thinking that yesterday when it was at 6-0, I'm thinking, you know what? There might have been a bit of a dip in the midweek against Forest, but they come back and they come fighting. So it gives me some hope that even though we've got to play them ourselves beforehand, that might do something against Man City. Maybe they're not just going to bend over and go, okay, well you're Man City, you can have the points. But they've got 2 games in hand, and they've got something to fight for themselves in terms of they want to get the highest as they can into Europe, be it Europa League or even maybe nicking that 4th spot.
Uh-huh.
All the refs take the piss. Let's be honest. There's not one ref in this country you can say, hands down, stands out for being a good referee. Actually knows his job.
I keep hearing that at the end of after the game, the referees go through and they review all the things that happened in the game. They don't. They don't.
Review. Yeah.
They can't. Not based on what we keep seeing over and over again. You can't be looking at what we're seeing and go, you know what? We reviewed this last week, and we're going to do better this time around.
Well, look, if we weren't, remember after we played Brentford a few months back. If it weren't for the public backlash that they were all facing because of the mistake that was made, that they openly said he made a mistake, he forgot. Because it wasn't dying down throughout the week, they had to do something.
Just got an alert.
He would still win the job. If that whole situation had calmed down, Mason would still be in a job. Yeah. What does that tell you?
Yeah. The ball gets past Meslier. He can't hold it.
4-1 now. Oh my God. Okay, Leeds are gone. Leeds are going. 4-1.
I think they're gone, mate.
They're gone. Sorry, Tom.
Oh, mate, what are you doing? Oh, fuck's sake.
They're panicking now, man, running into trouble. Fucking 3-on-1. 3-on-1, you can't get the ball for player. Serious. Oh yeah,
mate, they just always think that I don't know how they get these.
That's a free kick. Sorry, that's a free kick. But 10 minutes ago, that wasn't a penalty. Okay. Oh. Wow.
Exactly that.
It's a joke. I've said in terms of Meslier, I've said for a while, I don't make him as a goalkeeper. No matter what happens with these, they need to go out and get a decent goalie. Staying up or going down.
Yeah, you got to make that stop.
I know he's young. I know there's a young kid and all that still learning his trade, but come on. At some point, you need to be showing some sort of improvement. He doesn't show that.
I think City's been sitting on this ball for like 40 seconds now. Probably be a minute before they even.
They're just petering it out now. Fulham are sort of going, I don't know what to do. We're running into trouble instead. Oh, what are you doing?
I run out of options to have.
Well, as I said, runs into trouble. What did he go and do? Runs himself into trouble.
This game's fucking good. Just do it over now.
No, Matt Turner's. What is this thing? They can have an Arsenal. Yeah, they can have an Arsenal if they want. They're not having Matt Turner. Nothing wrong with Matt Turner. He's a good goalkeeper. He keeps Ramsdale on his toes. If we don't have Matt Turner at Arsenal, what do we have for backup to Ramsdale then? Ask yourself that one. Oh, youth academy goalkeepers are not good enough to make the step up yet. Okay. Then Ramsdale get comfortable, make more mistakes, and then he'll be in dire straits with the fan base.
8 minutes? Where's 8 minutes come from? Don't get me wrong. I'm happy about it.
I say 5 minutes because there was that injury at one point, wasn't there? Pereira had to be stretched off. I don't know, make 8 minutes, give him a bit of life, a bit of hope, maybe, I don't know. Tom's here. Sorry, Tom. We send no apologies, but yeah, it doesn't look good for you, mate. It really doesn't. Football is bullshit, perverted by the wealthy. Fucking hate it. Jesus Christ. Get young or black for first choice instead of Ramsdale. Again, Matt, what's it? Black? He's got to be pushed his 30s now. So what? We'll bring him in for a literal short-term stint. What's this thing of Ramsdale? Because let's be honest, if it weren't for Ramsdale on Wednesday,
oh my God,
that game would have been 6 or 7 by half time. Stop. Yeah, he made a mistake. He didn't get down quick enough for the first goal. Fair enough, but he can't. Or throw the stick at him, beat him with a stick. This guy saved us against Liverpool. He saved us being humiliated against Man City. He's made he makes one or two mistakes every now and then. Okay, every goalkeeper does that, by the way. And everyone's on his back. Everyone needs to calm down on that. He's pissing me off at the moment.
Yeah. But I mean, it still stands that we need competition everywhere. So.
Oh yeah, that's why I say that, because obviously Curtin was like saying Matt Turner's the lead. I'm like, no, because without Matt Turner, Ramsdale feel comfortable, take the foot off the gas, he'll start making mistakes and more recurrent and all that. Yeah. Then what? Then we have to go and buy no goalkeeper anyway, because obviously Ramsdale will be ruined.
Yeah.
Oh, well, here they go. Knights top of the table.
Yeah,
fucking
14, of course. Yeah, you know it. Sky had to have their little dig, don't they? They had to have their little dig at us.
Everybody's enjoying that, aren't they? Even though everybody said that it's just a matter of time before City goes in their run. No. And the run happens, and now it's like, well, now you bottled it. Which one is it?
No, exactly.
City was gonna go on that run, which everybody thought they were gonna happen, and it's happening right now.
Well, it's like
but no, it's Arsenal drops points, so that's what it is. It's not that City has lost. When's the last time they lost? Anybody remember?
Oh, bloody hell!
Exactly.
League-wise, it's been a while.
So it's been like 2 months or something like that since they've lost.
Yeah, it's been a while in the league.
So we're not going to win. Plus the Arsenal, so they're just going to go after us. We're going to get. It's going to be the negative no matter what happens. But
it's like what was it? Yeah. When Arsenal won the league in '89, obviously at one point we were walking away with it. And then as soon as we dropped points against teams we shouldn't have done in that second half of the season, and Liverpool came close to and then took over us. It's like, oh well, you had it. You're a young team. You had it. But you threw it away. You deserved it. Basically, they pretty much went in for Arsenal even then. That's without social media. Yeah. And then we still had to go to Anfield and do what we had to do. But yeah.
No, we definitely lost some opportunities to win this league. But like the same way they're saying we broke records with the amount of time we spent at the top of the table. If we would have won the league, we would have broken a record as the youngest team ever in English football.
How's that not a booking?
So
He just got up, threw a hissy fit at Grealish, and told the ref to fuck off. He's on a booking. That is meant to be a booking, but he's not been booked and sent off because it's Jack.
He's got his claws out, mate.
Nicely with him. Remember how long he showed you? It's just excited.
This is where the other team's got to be talking to their official, going, the man just spit in your face.
Yeah.
You didn't do anything about it. Why am I supposed to give you any kind of any kind of what do you call it? Respect. If a man can do that to you and you don't do anything.
Right?
This is it. I think Leeds' next game's Man City, in it, or one of the next games.
They got it tough, I think.
Yeah. I think West Ham and Leeds at home.
I'll put it this way: I think today's game was the easiest game in the running they've got left.
How's the officer, mate? This Fulham team done nothing, mate. In the last 15 minutes.
You know what? I think that non-penalty was a punch in the gut.
Yeah,
it was a punch in the gut. I mean, that was one of those like. I'll tell you why you're not going to win this game. All right.
He's all right.
And this is.
He's okay. No, he's hard. He's fine. He don't care.
Yeah, Man City at home next Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff to Leeds. So yeah,
they have home. Then they're home. Then they're home to Newcastle. That even.
Oh God.
and then they're away to West Ham, and then they're home to that team.
To what team?
That team.
That Tottenham. Team. Yeah. They might get one against Tottenham.
There's like 0 points in that whole situation.
They might get one against Tottenham. You never know. They might be relegated by then. You never know. Other than that, that's true.
The world would love that. That would definitely send Harry Kane out of there if they lose to Leeds. Come on. If Harry Kane wasn't leaving before, he's leaving then. All right. Go to Ellen Road and get
How's that a free kick to it? Again, the sarcasm there from Jack. That's meant to be again. This is all booked because we've seen over the years. Really gets booked for that. He's
been a prick in this game, isn't he?
You know, he's getting low. He's getting really comfortable now. And as you said, nobody is basically putting him in his place. And
we saw him last year.
Still don't get an England team, does he?
Yeah.
Still don't get an England team.
Neither does Ben White. By the looks of it. He's our best right back in the country.
They've just been too. They've not even played anywhere near their capacity.
No, they've been timid.
City, and they still comfortably won this game.
I don't know. They didn't comfortably win it.
Well, they have comfortably won it, mate.
No. When a referee doesn't call and make a decision for you.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, think about it.
They said they had a shot, though, have they? I can't recall them having a shot in the second half.
Not when you can just beat up a man. Come on. If I told you anytime you come in attacking third, I'm bringing you down.
You know what, mate?
And I
Even
won't
if they
be
got
called
the
for
penalty,
it.
yeah, right? They would have just stood up another gear against these fuckers.
No, they did it for about 10 minutes. It's not hard. It's really hard to go.
Yeah, 10 minutes is not good enough, mate. 10 minutes is not good enough. Like our 1 minute.
We didn't do 1 minute.
We had 1 minute. We had 30 seconds. Rob Holding hit a shot. He scored.
I'm not counting that.
All I'm hoping now is, mate, that them 115 charges, mate, and there's some revelations in all this.
All you need is one. Come on. If what is it? Somebody lost 6 points for like one issue, right?
Yeah, Reading.
Yeah, six points. They have 1 out of 150 or something ridiculous like that.
Something like that, yeah. But as I said earlier, Gary, you can't have over 100 odd charges against your financial doping, and then suddenly they all get dropped. That can't happen, surely.
I tell you,
we've seen over the years. We saw it in 2006.
Well.
Yeah, let's be fair. Otherwise, this would have been a cricket score at one point. But 2006, the match fixing scandal in Serie A. 4 teams were involved. They all got punished. Juventus, the biggest offenders, got sent down got points deducted, fines, and sent down the league. And that's just a match fixing. And then most recently, obviously, they've had to repeat it, and then they're facing a reappeal against.
They would have been better off, like not having the charges, at least released.
The Italian FA in Italy realised something, investigated it, deducted them 15 points, fined them and all that during the season. I know it's been reappealed and they've got the 15 points back, but it has been reappealed via the authorities again.
What's he moaning about? Like, what is Pep Guardiola moaning about, mate?
But here in England, we heard about.
He's starting to really grate on me, mate. And I'll tell you the reason why, yeah, right? Whenever they score or they do something good, yeah, right? He deflects everything. There's always a negative. Like, he's always like having a go at the goalkeeper, having a go at the ref there. You know what I mean? I think it's just fucking bullshit.
Yeah, Paul Thomas was got in Bournemouth as well. Bournemouth 4, Leeds 1. Sorry, Tom. United won 1-0. Southampton lost 3-1 to Southampton, are all but relegated.
No, I don't think any of us, Mr. Todd, I don't think any of us said that that Leeds had a chance of beating City. We said maybe that team.
No one thinks Leeds beat City. No one thinks Leeds beat City.
Tom, I'm going to say this now. If by some miracle you go to the Etihad and perform at your asses and get a result, what the fuck was today about?
Ain't happening, mate.
Leeds
are not doing absolute shit.
No, they're holding at least 8 next week. Sorry, Leeds. Sorry, Tom. Oh dear. So now, Leeds got City next week. Who Forest got? Forest could pull away next week. They're lucky.
The parrot is officially dead.
Not yet, not officially yet. We've still got Tuesday to get our game done. Get involved, yeah.
No, I'm not glad they got it short now.
Newcastle. Who first actually got it? Southampton. Oh, so next week, so Forest have got a winnable game there at home as well. Could relegate Southampton with 3 games to go. Get themselves out of that, pull away a bit. That could be interesting.
I'm going to have to shoot, mate, unfortunately.
Yeah, no worries. I know that thing.
Going out soon.
I'm gonna probably go do some shopping before I have to do it later today. I don't want to have to go outside again. So that's what I might do some shopping. Catch the second half of that team.
This is just too optimistic from Colonel, by the way. I think this is more hope than anything.
This is the Colonel Ward, basically. This is he's giving the extra insight. He's like, I know you're down, Mr. Tom, but I'm just gonna lean on you here and keep you down.
This is the thing that with Leeds itself, they've got a good manager in Harvey Garcia, but it's the players. The players, since that equalised against Palace, they've dropped their heads and they're just completely doing what they're doing. They can't get a win from anywhere. This is the easiest game in the running that we've looked at now, and they've been battered. It don't look good, and they ain't got a Burnley to fall back on. This could be they could be dragged into. Oh my days!
Yeah.
Oh well, it is what it is. Won at Man City 2 years ago, so not due. Okay, that was in with no fans, to be honest, Tom. So you need to win. You need to win there with fans. How long has it been since you won there with fans in the stadium, Tom? Maybe then you might be due.
I don't even. I hear you talking, Ryan, but talk, man.
Oh dear,
we didn't win at Anfield.
I know.
And I think we should have won at Anfield. I get a draw is okay, but we should have won it at Anfield. So
yeah. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, but we didn't because of getting pain in the arses at times. But obviously, that's it, guys. We'll be back on Tuesday for the Arsenal-Chelsea game at the Emirates. A chance for the Arsenal to get the head up their arses finally, win a game, regain top spot for 24 hours, and then pray and hope on Wednesday West Ham pull off a miracle. In one of as Man City get one of their games in hand out the way against West Ham, we need to hope West Ham get their head out the backsides and take something. Just take something. I don't care what. Just take something, please. And then we just go on for the weekend and then go from there, basically. Big thanks to Liam and Gary for both popping on and keeping me company during this stream as well, and the conversations, the debates back and forth at the game as well. Everyone in the chat as well, from over on Liam's channel and over here as well, the regulars, obviously from Liam's side of things, Georgina, Jonesy and all that, and then obviously all the regulars over here as well. Even Mr. Tom and his another hour of despair for him. Stefan, if you come across this, again, hope your hangover's okay after yesterday's celebrations, but we'll see you soon. Tomorrow, as I say, I'm at the game tomorrow, so it might not be a stream tomorrow, but we'll do something in aid of tomorrow's game, but either way. But yeah, tomorrow, so Tuesday, 7:30, we'll be going live, 8 o'clock kickoff. Aside from that, guys, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And as always, up the Arsenal. Come on, you guys.